The 2028 presidential election is on November 7th, 2028. November 7th, 2028 is 1,265 days from today. And yet, you could be mistaken for thinking that it is much sooner based on the level of activity out there from Democratic potential presidential candidates. I want to go through some of what people are doing, first of all, and then I'm going to explain why this presidential race is starting so much sooner than past presidential races. All right, well, I just put a list together. Here's my list of all the things that I could remember off the top of my head that have happened just in the last couple months that are clearly 2028 related. All right, let's go through a few. Pete Buttigieg, the former transportation secretary and former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, turned down a run for the Michigan Senate race, and then very recently was in Iowa giving a speech. Tim Walz, who you may remember from being the vice presidential nominee for Kamala Harris, has been on a tour around the country of districts that Republican-held congressional districts talking about the Democratic brand. Ruben Gallego, who just got elected senator in Arizona, did an event in the last month in Pennsylvania, the swingiest of swing states. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has started a podcast where he interviews people like Charlie Kirk and Steve Bannon who disagree with him. Thank you, Thumb. He is moving to the middle on trans issues, and he is addressing the homeless problem in the state. Gina Raimondo, who used to be the governor of Rhode Island, served in the Biden administration, responded yes when asked whether she might run for president in 2028. Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky, has been open about his interest and has even hired someone who has past experience in Democratic presidential politics to help him out. Rahm Emanuel, back from being the ambassador to Japan, is being open about his interest in the race. Everywhere you look, and I haven't even gotten into Gretchen Whitmer, Josh Shapiro, J.B. Pritzker. Like there's lots and lots of other people too. But everywhere you look, you are seeing candidates acting like it's 2027 as opposed to 2025, right? It's not May 2027 where we have a presidential primary in the offing. It's 2025. A reminder, there are 1,265 days still left before the next presidential election. So I think I have not, and I've been covering this stuff for a long time, I have never seen this level of early activity among such high-profile candidates for the next presidential race. And I'm going to explain why. I think there are three basic reasons that I will tell you right after I tell you this. I want you to subscribe to this channel. We are marching toward 100,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I like to think that's because I am offering people something that isn't on offer by that many people out in this political content universe. I am independent in two important ways. I am independent from big media companies, billionaires, corporate conglomerates. I don't work for them. I don't answer to them. I don't take their orders. It's just me making calls on what I think is interesting and how I see things playing out. Second way I'm independent. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm independent from the two parties. I spent decades working for mainstream media companies, CNN and the Washington Post most recently, but I've branched out to do my own thing, but I am still calling balls and strikes no matter what uniform the batter at the plate is wearing. I hope you will hit that subscribe button and join us. Okay, so Buttigieg in Iowa, Walz touring these House districts, Ruben Gallego in Pennsylvania, Gavin Newsom in his podcast, all this activity and motion more than 1,000 days before the next presidential general election. Why? Okay, I think there are three basic reasons, and they're all sort of tied together. Number one, the Democratic Party is functionally leaderless at this point, and politics abhors a vacuum. So, in the 2024 election, Joe Biden is the nominee. He is pushed out of the race. Kamala Harris steps in. She loses. Okay, so the sitting president and vice president are now, Biden is obviously persona non grata. He's not going to be the leader of the party. Kamala Harris, I think, her brand, she's got the stench of defeat on her. Nobody likes that stench. Okay, so now there's not an obvious person to kind of fill that void, to be the foil to Donald Trump, to step in and say, we need the party to go in this direction, right? It's not Barack Obama. I don't think thank you, Thumb. He's not interested in doing it. It's not Bill Clinton, probably too old to do it, not interested in doing it. It's not really Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer, the two leaders in Congress. Neither of them are high profile enough, I think, to do it. So what you have is a party without an obvious leader or even leaders. Into that vacuum steps all of these potential 2028 candidates who want to get a jump start on that race by saying, I will lead us to the political promised land. I will point the direction we need to go, whether that's on a policy front, a political front, whatever, a geographic front. So that's point one. Point two, and like I said, these are all related. Democrats are desperate to move on from Joe Biden. So look, I have this book on my desk. This book, Original Sin, Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson, has been the talk of the last couple of weeks. It came out this week. It has dominated conversation. Even before that book, which suggests which reports that there was an active cover-up by people close to Joe Biden about his condition when he was in the White House, even before that, Democrats wanted to be rid of Joe Biden. He was too old. Voters did not want him. He stayed in the race too long. He probably shouldn't have run for a second term. They want to put that chapter behind them, which, by the way, is another reason that I think Kamala Harris is not going to run for president in 2028. But anyway, they want to put that behind them. They want new, younger faces. So the sooner that you can, I always compare it to breaking up with a significant other. You might kind of linger with that significant other longer than you should until you meet someone new you really like. Well, Democrats are on the trying to meet someone new they really like phase. And I think all of these candidates want to be that someone new that they meet. So I think Democrats very much want to move on from that Biden era, and they're desperate to find someone that's like they can get excited about rather than feel bad about. Last reason number 3 of why this race has started so early. Democrats hate Donald Trump. Now, that is not news to anyone, but I think Democrats, if they could, would simply fast forward to 2028. They have not been happy with the first 5 months of the Trump administration. They're not going to be happy with the next 3.5 years, but they can't really do anything about it because Donald Trump won the presidency and he has a 4-year term. Now, they can vote Democrats into a majority in the House in 2026, which they may well do, maybe into the Senate as well, but they can't change out the president until 2028. So I think Democrats want to start thinking, they want to spend as little time right now thinking about what's happening and what they can't change, and spend as much time thinking about what's happening in the future that they might be able to change. And again, they want to look at people that they can be excited about. They are down in the dumps about Biden. They are depressed at a minimum about Trump and what he will do with the presidency. They want to be able to look forward, to look to something that they think is more hopeful, more optimistic, something that gets them out of bed in the morning. And these candidates out there doing things helps that happen. So for all of those reasons, I think it's why, even though we are over 1,200 days from the general election in 2028, you see so much candidate activity, and you see so many Democratic aspirants being so open about their interest in running. I think that will pick up, not decline. So the summer is typically sort of slow, and my guess is it will be slow again. But when we get to September, I think you're going to see a lot. Post-Labor Day, you're going to see a lot more movement among all the players as they don't even try to hide their interest. I think they're not even hiding in plain sight now, most of them. I think it will start to become more of an avalanche as they get more and more and more interested. They will couch it as, we're doing things to help Democrats win the House and Senate in 2026. Which it will be, but it will also be for their ambition. So this race is the earliest starting race I can remember, and I think it's going to just keep picking up candidates and picking up speed. All right, as always, a couple things you can do. As I mentioned before, you can subscribe to my independent journalism channel. I hope you do that. You can also, on this video in particular, you can like and comment. Both of those things help my content get out to more people who are not currently subscribers. So check if you can do like or comment, do both. That helps with the YouTube algorithm to push my content out. The last thing you can do, old school, tell a person or two about what I'm building here and why you think it's important. The more support and subscribers I have, the more time I can devote to stuff like this, the more videos I can make, the fancier I can make these videos. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to support it, hit that subscribe button and then go out and tell a couple people about why this is important. All right, everyone.